Do you guys want my super secret list of NBA players that you need on your fantasy basketball team? Here are the waiver wire targets you need to focus on for week 12 of the NBA season. Alec Burks. Alec Burks is rostered in 40% of Yahoo leagues. He has positional versatility, so he can play point guard, shooting guard, and small forward on Yahoo. Over the last 7 days, he's averaged 27.5 minutes per game, 19.5 points per game, 3.8 rebounds, 3.8 assists, and 1 steal. Everyone knows that Alec Burks, when he gets some playing time, he can be super valuable for your fantasy team, so I would consider adding him this week. From the Brooklyn Nets, TJ Warren. He's rostered in 28% of Yahoo leagues. Over the last 7 days, he's averaged 28 minutes per game, 11.7 points, 5.7 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 0.7 steals, and 0.7 blocks. TJ Warren was the man when he played for Phoenix. I had him on a bunch of fantasy teams, but he's been banged up for a couple of years. He's finally back, getting his legs under him. This could be an opportunity for you to snatch him up and see if it can help you win a championship. Next up, from the Charlotte Hornets, Mark Williams. Mark Williams is just rostered in 2.1% of ESPN leagues, so he'll be available in a lot of spots. He was drafted with the 15th pick in the 2022 draft. Listen to this one, guys. He was actually the ACC Defensive Player of the Year when he played for Duke in 2022. In the last 7 days, he's averaged 10 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, and 1 block per game. He has tons of upside, limitless potential. I would give him a shot this week. Next up, from the Washington Wizards, Daniel Gafford. Daniel Gafford is just rostered in 36% of Yahoo leagues. In 9-cat leagues, he can really help you with your field goal percentage. In his last few games, I just wanted to share his field goal percentage: 100%, 83.3%, 66.7%, 100%, 100%, 85.7%, and 71.4%. If you're struggling in the field goal category, this could be a way for you to increase those numbers. I also want to talk about some injured players in Phoenix that you might want to consider grabbing now while it's early. With Devin Booker out, there's going to be tons of opportunity for players like Cameron Johnson, Cam Payne, and Landry Shamet. All of them are banged up right now, and you could probably grab them off of your waiver wire. I just want to rapid fire a few players you want to consider picking up this week from the Dallas Mavericks, who have 3 quality games, I might add: Dwight Powell and Tim Hardaway Jr. Boston also has 3 quality games, so I would take a look at Derek White if he's available, Brogdon, Horford if somebody dropped him, or if you're in a shallow league, and Grant Williams, who's available in a lot of different spots. And last but not least, the Utah Jazz have 4 quality games. They are like high priority. So if you can get anybody off the waivers from Utah, it works. Look out for Sexton, who is dropped in a lot of places, Beasley, Conley, Vanderbilt, and even Jordan Clarkson. And I have one priority ad that might still be out there: Dante DiVincenzo. When I tell you this man is taking advantage of the opportunity, he's only rostered in 10% of ESPN leagues and 42% of Yahoo leagues. He's averaging 33.5 minutes over the last 7 days, 11.8 points, 6.3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. He could really help you in 9-cat leagues and in points leagues. If he's available, I would strongly recommend picking him up. My dynasty ad for this week is Emmanuel Quickley, who is just rostered in 48% of Yahoo leagues. With Jalen Brunson sidelined with a hip injury, Quickley is just going to be on fire for the next couple of weeks, and you never know, he might have long-term value, especially in dynasty leagues. By the way, I'm Robin Marks from Game Pick Fantasy Basketball. You can connect with me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Game Pick Podcast. If you love fantasy sports, please consider subscribing. We release new episodes every single week. Next up, let's talk buy lows and sell highs. First up, let's talk about our buy lows. Christian Wood. Christian Wood has all kinds of narratives being created about him in fantasy. He's been a solid producer for a number of years now, and he's recently been thrusted into the starting lineup. He was coming off the bench a little bit in Dallas. Now he's getting that run. If you can throw an offer to bring him back to your squad, this is the time. My next buy low candidate is Jalen Duren from the Detroit Pistons. The rookie, the 19-year-old rookie, I might add, is averaging 10 points per game and 12.9 rebounds per game through his first 10 starts. Listen, guys, he does not have the name value right now for people to even connect the dots. This is your opportunity to send over some offers to see if you can bring him back to your squad, especially in dynasty formats. And my injury buy low for this week, and the same guy that I've probably talked about for the last 3 weeks, is Karl Anthony Towns. Listen, this might be your last opportunity to buy low on Karl Anthony Towns. He'll be back in a couple of weeks, and when he comes back, if you didn't take advantage of this moment, you might regret it. So please send a couple offers, see if you can buy low on Karl Anthony Towns. Now let's talk about our NBA sell highs. First up, DeAnthony Melton. Tyrese Maxey is going to be back very soon. I think he's targeting this coming Friday for his return date. Listen, when he gets back, DeAnthony Melton's value is going to plummet. It's going to sink to the bottom of the earth. You have to take advantage of this moment. Try to sell high on him. If he has a big game this week before Tyrese comes back, see if you can get back some decent return on DeAnthony Melton. My next sell high candidate is Jusuf Nurkic from the Portland Trail Blazers. Listen, on December 26th, your man went off. He went nuclear. He had 28 points, 15 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks equals 75 fantasy points. You have to sell high on Jusuf Nurkic. Next up, one of my least favorite players, but I cannot deny he is on fire right now, Julius Randle. I honestly have issues with the New York Knicks as a native New Yorker. I won't go into all of that, but I would say your man is going off. Over the last 7 days, 41.8 minutes per game, y'all. 35 points per game, 12.3 rebounds, and 5.3 assists. Listen, you can't deny it. Julius Randle is a super valuable asset right now. You might be able to make a crazy return if you can execute a sell high. Sell high on Jimmy Butler. Listen, he has been playing basketball, y'all. He's actually strung together a few games of being healthy. Yes, you can probably look at his history over the last few games and see that he's been missing some games, but he's been playing 2 games in a row, 3 games in a row. Listen, it's not going to get any better than this. He's not focused on selling coffee right now. He's not doing TikToks. He's not focused on what he's doing with his hair. He's focused on basketball. So you might be able to sell high if you can convince your league mates that he's actually going to stay healthy. I want to take some time to talk about today's sponsor, Owner's Box. Owner's Box is an official sponsor of the Game Pick podcast, and we want to highlight their new one-of-a-kind fantasy sports format, Lightning Lineups. All you have to do is spin, pick, and win. Sign up right now and use the promo code Game Pick Podcast. Owner's Box will match your first deposit up to $500. This is one of the largest deposit matches in the industry. Don't miss out. To sign up, just download the Owner's Box app on Android or iOS. And don't forget, use the promo code GamePickPodcast. So now for my favorite part of the episode, when we talk to you, the people from the community, the fantasy basketball community, the Game Pick community. This is the Discord Q&A. The first question is from Parth. He says, should we sell high on LaMelo before Charlotte tanks? Also, tell me some dudes you think we should trade for him. Listen, I was just talking about this with Josh Lloyd from the Locked On Fantasy Basketball podcast on his mailbag show. I was a guest. Thank you so much for having me, Josh. If you guys want to check it out, I'll put a link in the show notes below. But we talked about this, about trading players based off sheer speculation. The only team that's really tanking, openly tanking right now, is the San Antonio Spurs. Everyone else, it's like speculative tanking. Will they tank? We believe they might. The OKC Thunder over the last couple of years have consistently, habitually, chronically tanked. We know that they've done that, but we don't know if they're going to do it this year. They have a really good team. And for Charlotte, yes, they have a losing record, but it looks like they're competing. They have pretty consistent rotations, and they're trying to win games. With that said, I wouldn't recommend trading LaMelo, but if you did want to make that gamble to say like, hey, I think they're going to tank, let me move him, I wouldn't settle for anything but first round value. So if you could get a Giannis, a Jokic, a Doncic, even, someone like Jason Tatum, Trae Young, Damian Lillard, if you need to even throw in a secondary piece to execute that trade, I'm fine with that, but I wouldn't go trading him for 2 third-rounders or fourth-rounders or anything like that. The next question is from Tao I. Curtis. He wants to know, is Kawhi a sell when he gets a good game, or should he be good for now? Listen, oh my God. You guys, if you don't know, now you know. I don't bang with Kawhi Leonard in fantasy basketball. I think he's awesome in real life. I think like he's funny. I'm a funny guy. All of that. Won a championship in Toronto. Love it. Won a chip in San Antonio. No doubt. Am I drafting him for my fantasy team? Heck to the no. And I'll tell you why. He has been consistently not available, consistently injured, consistently, I can't play for this reason. My team this, my team that. Yo, I'm telling you, if Kawhi Leonard has a good game, Curtis, you sell his butt. Like, go for it. Do not hold him thinking that this is going to pan out as a, contributing factor to your championship run, because it won't. You're going to be heartbroken. You're going to be mad. You're going to be sick, complaining. Mark my words that you can't trust Kawhi Leonard in fantasy. The Loom Master wants to know, who's going to get traded this year? Short answer, I don't know, but I can guess. So I know that there's been a lot of talk about Kyle Kuzma getting moved. There's also been a lot of rumors about Buddy Hield getting traded, specifically to the Lakers in a Russell Westbrook deal. Not sure if that's going to happen. Also, Bojan Bogdanovic has been in a lot of trade talks, OG Anunoby and Gordon Hayward. So I don't know who's going to get traded, but I know those are some of the names that have come up. If you need help with your team, please drop a comment. I will do my best to respond to every single comment on this video. Also, you have to join our private Discord server. If you're new to fantasy and you need advice, we have an awesome community of 1,350 fantasy fanatics who want to support you. To join, all you have to do is hit the link in the description of this episode. And yes, bang on that subscribe button and hit us with a thumbs up and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. And don't forget, play the waivers, set your lineups, and follow Game Pick, you freaking fantasy nerd.